Drew, has this been a hard week to say that you're from North Carolina?
No week is a hard week to say that I'm from North Carolina
That's a good answer.
because I have Carolina pride that endures any, collegiate basketball headwinds, humiliating as they may be, any sort of, controversy or not created by certain artists from North Carolina, such as Murray, um, Little Brother, De Niro Ferrar, Elevator J, Wells, um, Speaker Knockers was from South Carolina, but we definitely claim him. We do the little trick where we say, "Oh, it's the Carolinas" to sort of elide that thing. Um, uh, but no, ain't nothing finer than being from Carolina, is what I say. Also, the Panthers, they're going to be good next year. Maybe that's not true. The Hornets might have the first woman coach in the NBA.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That whole team's like
And
addicted to perks, right?
no, they're just addicted to losing. No. They're going to be on the up and up. They got Grant Williams as their best player. What can go wrong?
That's cool. You guys also have like this new music festival I keep hearing a lot about.
Uh, yeah. Well, we need another music festival because Moogfest flew and then crashed and burned in
Yeah.
the time that you did your bid, Slava.
What's Moog?
Moog.
Synthesizer.
Oh, yeah.
Moog.
Moog.
Yes.
It's pronounced Moog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
in
it's
America.
not. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's Moog.
No,
The guy's Canadian.
it's Moog.
Yeah. Bob Moog. The Moog factory and corporate headquarters is in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, no way. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had a really cool festival going, ridiculous artist lineup for like a few years ago.
Was it like
Yeah,
Kate Trinata?
No, like
Maybe,
flying.
but like
yeah, probably.
Flying Lotus? Yeah, that makes sense.
Lilo. Trying to think of the other good people.
every
I saw
genre
there.
too, because a thing like that just transcends genres. So like they did have like some hip hop and rap and shit, but like every genre of music, like weirdo.
Country? Did they have Beyonce?
Good point. No, probably not a lot of country at the Moogfest. So point taken.
Although I did once, and I swear to God, this is a true story. I did once watch KRS-One perform at Moogfest with Chelsea Manning.
Shut the fuck up.
What the fuck are you talking?
Wait, he performed with Chelsea Manning, or you were there with Chelsea Manning?
I was sitting with Chelsea Manning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a little less weird. Still weird, but less weird. I thought Chelsea Manning was performing as than Slava, which would have been inexplicable.
That would have been amazing. That would have been fucking sick. She was like breakdancing.
Duetting, yeah. Like.
No. It was
five pillars of hip hop.
It was like another friend of mine who is like a FOIA style journalist was like speaking there. And Chelsea Manning was also one of the other main speakers. I once like on 12 hours notice programmed a panel for Moogfest. They were really disorganized, which is why they no longer exist. Welcome to Nersey. I'm Drew. I'm joined by Slava P and producer Steel Tip Dove. Unfortunately, Trey could not make it. However, we have a very special episode in which Slava and I will debate the merits of J. Cole.
Well, it's more of an argument about whether or not he sucks ass. And Drew's going to say he doesn't suck because he has hometown bias, and I'm going to tell you the truth.
I like your spin on it, Slava. However, you are trying to score points before the rules and parameters have been established by Joe, who will be keeping score and also timing us that you don't interrupt me.
Okay, so we're going rounds.
Yes.
And I have to
But when I
pick
asked
a
you
winner at the end of each
earlier-
round and assign a point.
No, just at the end. Tell us the points at the end, like UFC.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just tell us who wins at the end of it. You score every individual round, but don't tell us the score after every round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe, do you want to sort of lay out your biases before you
Well,
go in?
I don't I try not to care about like people liking stuff unless it's like just objectively so bad or something. Tom McDonald or something like that, where someone's like, "That's my favorite artist." I'd be like politely try to explain to them why it's bad or whatever. But like somebody like J. Cole, I don't care when people like him. But since I thought we were coming in talking about the beef, I mean like Kendrick Lamar is literally just such an objectively important and impressive artist where I don't see J. Cole existing in that sphere. Not at the level of Kendrick Lamar, even remotely. But that's because again, I thought we were just talking about the beef. So just the merit to J. Cole, we can even just cut me out because it's like less. Now I'll just score like who I think is. But it does kind of suck because I am biased to not thinking J. Cole is like as good.
Well, that's the thing is that's actually what Joe just said. That's a point
Well,
for
we
me.
haven't started yet. No, that's not a point.
Point for me. Point for me.
That's fine. I'll let you have a point to start out with because I am so confident that I'm going to beat you in this. And
That's
let
awesome.
me tell you why. Because every time someone interrupts when it is not their turn to speak, Joe is going to be docking a point from the interrupter.
You shouldn't have told him that. He knew that, but
He already knew,
should
but
have reminded him.
So we will see if your cunning and wit can outweigh your impulsivity.
You guys want to know
Damn
something?
it, I couldn't even do it for the fucking intro.
So how long per minute or per
2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes for opening statements, and then let's see how 1 minute works per round.
Okay.
And if you want to stop before your time is up, you say, "I yield my time," much like in Congress or in Slava's inferior country that does not contain North Carolina parliament.
We have in North Carolina. It's called Edmonton. Drew, would you like to go first?
Yes, I'm also going to start a timer on my phone so I know how
I'm not.
I'm
so
going.
everybody at home knows that I'm just freeballing this.
That's not a term. Okay. Give me a second to take a couple notes.
Okay.
What? Dude.
Yeah, dude, I've got notes here.
Yeah, so do I. I'm not adding more. Okay, you know what? Fine, I'll take notes too. Two could play this game.
All right. Joel, you start a 2-minute timer during which we can take notes.
During which you can take notes. All right, ready? Go.
Okay. Pen to paper.
I want Drew to see my notes.
Thank you for drawing a dick on your paper and wasting some of your time.
Three-leaf clover. I don't need notes to tell you why J. Cole sucks ass. I don't know why this is so... Like, the fact that you have to put this much effort into it, point for me.
Joe's not keeping score yet. Doesn't count.
Well, you know what I'm going to do with my 2 minutes of note-taking time? Talk shit. The fact that you even want to take this position...
Slava has muted himself. He's acting like he's being censored.
You can't even talk about J. Cole because of woke.
All right, so we're doing opening round for Drew, right?
Yes.
All right, so ready, Drew, opening round, go.
My opponent, Slava P, will tell you that J. Cole is bad. However, first and foremost, I must remind you that all art is subjective. There is no such thing as good or bad. There is only personal preference in the realm of art. There are extreme outlier examples, but usually those express extreme political ideologies. This is not something that J. Cole does. Instead, J. Cole is simply a young man who is now probably approaching 40, who went platinum with no features. Think about this. He is an economic engine he is a viable, profitable entity in the music industry because he produces his own beats and raps over them. He does all of his own writing. That all of that shit is the sign of an authentic artist. Additionally, he is truly popular. He is an artist who is of the people. That is what popular means. He makes some pretty traditional Southern inflected boom bap that happens to have resonated with an outsized audience. There are people who would denigrate J. Cole because he is potentially, it doesn't seem possible that he is so popular. However, you know who else made music that was objectively good? Even though objectivity that doesn't actually count or fucking whatever. The Beatles. Also, he has his own festival.
Thank fucking God. I'm ready to go whenever, Joe.
By the way,
no,
man.
no fucking no.
No, I was just gonna say
this is a debate.
No, I'm not making a point. I'm just saying that
you're losing one.
I'm just saying that like you're allowed to laugh as long but not interrupt.
Drew, I would have loved to have laughed at something you said, but there is not a damn thing funny about what you just broke down. Joe, start my timer.
Opening round for Slava. Ready, go.
There are a lot of ways to decide to talk about why J. Cole sucks, and I do want to thank Drew for this opportunity because he's right. He's right. That's what really pains me to admit about what Drew said. This is a conversation about taste, and he is very popular, like a product. You think he's an authentic artist? That is because that is the image that he has sold to you as an artist over the past 10 years. Listen, there's a lot of ways I could attack this. I could talk about why he's problematic with his most recent punchlines in his albums. I could highlight the actions of this last week with the beef, where he started some shit and then apologized for it after throwing shots. Insane. I could talk about how little merit there is in this competition overall. Like, these people are just competing to say who gets to be second or third place to Drake, really. Like, even J. Cole himself admits that his ceiling is very low. But you know what? Instead, I'm going to use my time to explain that Jermaine Lamar Cole sucks ass because he is simply inauthentic. He is a product. He is mass produced. He is a brand in a way that people have not tried to be since 2007 in Brooklyn. He's no different than a soft drink competitor or a type of Nike. And the fact that he's actually ethered himself and probably ended his career to a lot of his core fan base is the best way he could have finished because it's the most authentic thing he's ever done. He is an inauthentic product who has done an authentic thing and has lost his core fan base because now they don't know what to think about something that never stood on anything to begin with. I yield my time.
20 seconds remained. Okay. Are you about to do a rebuttal? One minute rebuttal each?
Yeah, Drew, give her.
All right, let me set a.
And am I rebutting your rebuttal or am I rebutting your original intro?
You can rebut whatever the fuck you want.
All right, let's go.
All right, 1 minute rebuttal. Starting with Drew. Go.
All right. I am really glad that my unesteemed opponent has brought up the idea that J. Cole, quote unquote, ethered himself by apologizing to Kendrick Lamar. I, in fact, would argue that J. Cole instead opted to not be what the scholar Kevin Munger calls a subject of the YouTube apparatus, which is where a creator of art or content, whatever, allows themselves to be shaped by their audience. Oh shit. I fucked up and I'm wasting my time. The YouTube apparatus is where a creator allows themselves to be shaped by the feedback of their audience. J. Cole said, people wanted me to respond and I did. However, I take it back.
Okay, start mine.
Wait, so we're about to do a 1 minute rebuttal to that or
I'm gonna
whatever.
talk about that. Yeah, I'm gonna talk straight about that.
Ready, go.
He's absolutely being shaped by feedback. That's why he started going so hard and wanted to be known as a good rapper, and why he went on that little run where he was on like Royce the 5'9" features. This guy listens to what you say, internalizes it, and then just does it. He is literally a product of the algorithm. The fact that he took it back is probably the first authentic decision he's ever made, and it shows that he's so ass that he doesn't even want to engage in the sport that he like wants to be top 3 at. I really feel like this is not a conversation about taste or music or like rap. This is just a conversation about like being a man. And J. Cole at 39 years old is not the type of man you want to emulate. He's not an authentic artist. He is a product. How much time do I have left, Joe?
10 seconds.
Fuck J. Cole, bro. And fuck all of North. Never mind. I couldn't do it.
Time. All right. Round 2. We'll start with Drew. Are you ready?
Yes. My opponent cannot be trusted here. He has, by invoking the idea of what a man is and is not, he has appealed to sexist tropes. He has also, and by saying that like a rapper failed to follow through on engaging in beef, he has also fallen victim to the idea that rap is simply professional wrestling, when instead it is art form. It is an art form. Additionally, need I remind our listeners that my opponent is a convicted criminal? How can we trust anything he says?
What are these ad hominem attacks, dude?
Anyways, my opponent admitted in a court of law to doing bad stuff. How can we trust him to properly assess the merits of J. Cole? I yield my time, and would also like to note that he did interrupt me.
Oh, it was noted.
Thank
God
you.
damn it. You got me. You got me.
36 seconds left on the clock.
All right.
Slava, you will have 2 minutes starting now.
Drew's absolutely right. I can't be trusted with anything regarding like what it means to have character. So let's just stick to rap. Okay. Let's just talk about this with regards to rap music. J. Cole is a fan of rap in the way that the Rap Genius founders were a fan of rap, in that, you know, he would listen to it. He lived in New York City, etc. He was more of an involved fan than anything else. So what he actually wanted to do was become the next Kanye West with this production dream he had, where he would produce and rap over the same songs. Guess what? They weren't very good productions. The rap's also not great. But the reason he got to Jay-Z's side was because he wanted to be the next Kanye West. That's not a very high bar to clear. But we also have to remember that he was not like, he did not sell the blue collar dream. He did not live the blue collar dream that he sold. J. Cole is a product of good marketing that started off at an early age when he was playing basketball. Then he wrote for Jay-Z and got on A Star Is Born. And then he did the whole like whole album, produced it himself, whole album, no features, yada, yada, yada. The problem is the product's not good. Nab is a better producer rapper combo. And never has a J. Cole bar stuck in my memory except the corny ones that get passed around like memes. This guy is not a good rapper. If we're going to stick it strictly to rap, this guy is appealing off working class roots he never had. He bills himself as a people's rapper with this dollar and a dream thing. And that's all it is. It's smart marketing. He sells his beats to other people, including Kendrick, which is why he has to like play the networking game for the most part. This guy is literally a sales and marketing guy doing a rapper's craft. That's the best way I can describe it. And that's why if we're just going to stick to music, J. Cole, bad at it from both sides of things, rap and producing. I yield my time.
11 seconds remained on the clock. I feel like I have a winner in round 2.
Okay.
I
assume
or
it's
do
me.
we need rebuttals for round 2, or are we ready to move on to the next topic?
Unless the winner is me, I have a rebuttal.
That's I can't tell you that. So
we just established these rules.
Yeah, because we were saying we're keeping it till the end.
Now who cares about character and honor and who's been in jail and who wants to cheat?
Okay. Well, I would like to rebut my opponent. 1
You
minute.
will have 1 minute for a rebuttal. Go ahead, starting now.
My opponent is making meaningless accusations about J. Cole. He says that J. Cole, quote, wanted to be Kanye. How does he know J. Cole's mind state at any point in his life? Has he ever interacted with J. Cole? Verily, the answer is nay. Additionally, he has accused Jay-Z of utilizing ghostwriters. What proof does he have of this accusation? I would levy that the answer is none. Meanwhile, I have interviewed J. Cole once, 10 years ago, for like 45 minutes. My credibility in this matter is 45 minutes times more than his. I yield my time.
5
Okay,
seconds
I'm ready
remain
for
on
the rebuttal
clock.
to the rebuttal.
Okay, rebuttal to the rebuttals with Slava. Go.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say that J. Cole's been a huge fan of Kanye West ever since he talked about his music early in his career. He said, I'm such a Kanye West fan. He told Culture back in 2010, I would like to work with him on some major scale, not a song here or a song there, but I would love to do something extraordinary with him. Then there's a lot of, I'm reading a Rap Genius headline or article right now, just because that's the only place to find music journalism for this specific thing. And I have no interest in finishing it, but all I know is it proves my point. I yield my time.
7 seconds remained on the clock. My feelings did not change about that round. So I feel like it should just be round 3. It's a free for all. Round 3.
Yes.
You know?
Thank you.
Does that sound good?
Yeah. And this time I will be magnanimous because I assume that I have won both rounds, that Slava can
How
go
many notes
first.
did you take? That's crazy.
Well,
A lot.
so you can assume whatever
wait.
you want, but the point is we're doing another third round free for all and then conclusions.
Okay.
So third round, we've started with Drew in the first 2 rounds. We'll start with Slava in the third round.
I would actually like Drew to go, and I'll take conclusions. I'll go first for
No.
conclusions.
I want you to go
I'm the
first because
moderator.
I feel
I'm the
like
moderator.
Okay,
Neither
all
of you are gonna. I said that, so now it's happening.
Fair enough. Start my clock.
Start. 2 minutes.
All right. So here's the real problem with discussing J. Cole as a rapper is he's made rap actively worse by being a part of it and being a lighthouse for people who want to get into rap. So people are like, oh, I like Drake. Oh, you like rap music? Have you heard J. Cole? He's like a really good rapper. He's like cerebral. He raps about stuff. And he doesn't. You know that that's true. And people who could actually fall in love with the art form of rap at like 15, 16, whenever these formative times are in someone's life, they could be listening to some like crazy, even if it's like lyrical miracle shit, because they have a fondness for this type of stuff, but it's innate. But instead, they're listening to J. Cole. It's as if someone just got into food and discovered they like sweet things, but that's as a result of corn syrup. So they don't even bother looking at the wide-ranging world of desserts because they're like, no, I love corn syrup. And that's what J. Cole is, okay? He's corn syrup, but for rap. And now he's regarded as a deep rapper, but also somehow relatable. I don't understand how it works. And the only explanation is a good sales and marketing rollout because that's all he is. He's a brand. He's inauthentic. He's a product. Drew met him. Great. I've worn a pair of Nikes too. Big fucking deal. I cede my time.
Drew, you'll have 2 minutes starting now.
All right. While, yes, it is true that J. Cole once made a song about coming in his pants, no one here is going to deny that. God knows, not me. This does not provide me with a position of strength. However, this does provide me with a position of segueing into my point, which is that J. Cole, he's not like J. Cole. No one is confusing J. Cole for cool G rap. Instead, J. Cole is a gateway to getting into a cool G rap or even a 21 Savage for a young person who is really sort of exploring their tastes. He's had Big Rube on albums, which is a gateway to Goody Mob and Outkast. I once heard, but did not witness, to be fair, that J. Cole went to the DIY venue in Durham, North Carolina to go watch Goldlink perform. And this was before Goldlink was a going concern. Additionally, J. Cole is a DIY guy in a certain way. Like, he's the one who plans his own festival. I can confirm this because of connections I have in the Raleigh Durham area who have also engaged in festival doing, who have dealt with him. Additionally, I would just like to reiterate that Slava is a criminal. You can't trust anything he says about anything. Like, how do we even know that Slava's his real name?
Time. Okay. Yikes.
It's over.
No, I mean, like, I think maybe we need some sort of conclusions. Slava, go ahead. What do you feel? Do you have any sort of conclusion?
Honestly, I feel like I've been cooking Drew the whole time. He's been having to do ad hominem attacks. I have really nothing left to say except the same thing I've been saying about J. Cole, which is that he's a product and he benefits from good marketing.
Which is not great in terms of debates go. I'll tell you that. Say the same things over and over. You may
no, I feel like it's actually better to repeat yourself. Like how I'm saying that he is a product. He is not an authentic artist. But I will use the rest of my time to start naming rappers that I think are better than J. Cole.
Saigon, hold on. We'll give you a 1 minute.
Asher Roth.
Right, you have a
Wiz Khalifa.
All right, your time has been yielded. Drew, would you like a 1 minute rebuttal to
Yellow Wolf,
Slava's
Macklemore
rappers that are better than
G Herbo?
Yes,
I'll start the clock when you're ready. All right, it is now going to be Drew's time.
A Boogie with a Hoodie.
Oh,
PNB Rock, Playboy Cardi.
I will speak over him.
XXX
news.
Slava has made a appeal to authenticity. However, authenticity is not real. There is no such thing as authenticity. Everything is derivative of everything else. If you played something that was completely new music that was derivative of nothing, we would not even recognize it as music. We would be like, what the fuck is this? All art is iterative. It builds upon what came before it. Additionally, we live under capitalism. Everything is a product. This fucking podcast is a product. Like, why would we have come up with this topic for our episode if not because we thought that it would appeal to people?
Time. Slava, unmute. No one knows who you said because as soon as you said XXXTentacion or whatever the fucking guy's name is, I muted you.
I was reading XXL freshman cover artists.
Well, most of
I read most of them.
Well,
now after I found out that I was
that was for you, buddy.
After I found out that I was losing the debate, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna start interrupting. Wait,
man.
No, I mean,
we can maybe. I think we should do. Hold on. I think we should do 30-second closing statements. No interrupting. And then I'll have an answer for you guys if you want. Slava, 30 seconds.
I go first?
Go. Yep.
Drew, you started this debate by talking about how this was a conversation about taste. And you ended this debate talking about how, yeah, J. Cole is a product, but that's okay. Everything you just said about things being derivative and a version of something else, you could apply that exact same argument to AI. And you're against AI for reasons that would counter your argument. Yeah, everything's derivative, but that doesn't mean you have to sink to the lowest common denomination of that genre just to experience everything that came before it, especially when you have access to everything that came before it.
Time.
Now, is anybody...
Time. Well done.
Thank you.
Drew, you'll have 30 seconds. Final statement on the merits of J. Cole. Go.
Okay. My opponent, my criminal opponent, again, makes appeals to the lowest common denominator. However, this is art. This is not math. We can objectively determine what the lowest common denominator is. We cannot determine what the lowest common denominator is in art. Additionally, my criminal opponent.
Time.
Real quick, if this counts as
time served is what I should have said.
Oh yeah, edit that in, say it, and then edit it in later.
All right, man. Well, I have some things written down here about the specific rounds.
Wait, hold on. Can we have before this an honest conversation about who each of us thinks won? Because
we each think each other won. Like,
oh yeah, I obviously think you won. Like,
no, I think you won.
I just like immediately was like, oh fuck, I have to defend J. Cole. I'm just gonna point out that Slava went to jail over and over again.
That's what a real debate. That's what a politician would do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why you won.
Man, all right. Well, I had written down round 1 went to Drew because Slava, you leaned too hard on the inauthenticity thing. Where right. J. Cole, I don't know his origins. I don't know how young he was when he first did his music. I don't know if he came up rich, poor, whatever. I genuinely don't know much about him. But he's
I can
been
actually
in it for long
respond
enough.
to this. Oh.
Yeah, so can I. He's real close.
I don't care. I will, even before I go any further, the best thing J. Cole ever inspired, in my opinion, was a joke about him, which I think was either done by Deezus or Mero, which was him referring to him as Liquid NyQuil or Rap NyQuil or something, using NyQuil or something. Anyway, Drew did win because you leaned a little too hard on the inauthenticity thing, and I think he rapped enough, and he's clearly a big enough fan of music that he's a little authentically like into the art form. Okay. And then round 2 went to Slava because I can't remember what you said specifically, Drew, but you invoked some like anti-woke thing, or you said something about anti-woke. Like you're like, and I was like, this is such a stretch. I wish I remember what you said specifically, but I did write that was a really close round because Slava, you were leaning on, you know, smart marketing and stuff, but like Drew said, everyone does that or whatever. But then you lost a point for interrupting twice, which made this technically really hard for you to win.
Right.
And if I was being honest, if I'm being truly honest, and this is why I'm not a good moderator, and I think you're going to be both are going to be disappointed in this. It's a fucking draw, man. There's no way for me to tell you who won this because I don't like J. Cole. But if J. Cole had like 150 fans, I'd be like, guys, come on over. Like, come hang out with me. There's only 150 of you. I'm going to play you some stuff. But he's got hundreds of thousands of fans. That's how art works. Like, it's it's unfortunately a draw, but Drew is the technical winner because you're worse at debating. Slava, you are definitely...
I'm amazing at debating. What are you talking about?
You couldn't not interrupt.
You're inauthentic and you're a product.
You couldn't not interrupt. You literally lost, even in like a 4-point game, you lost 2 points.
Well, that's a lot of points to take away for interrupting. Maybe the rules were faulty to begin with.
It was clearly stated. No, it was so easy. You could have even just muted yourself.
Before we go further, can I say a couple things?
Yes.
1 point in my sort of cosmic karmic favor is that I deliberately chose not to make the point that J. Cole makes the kind of music that would cause someone, if they were interested in it, to find the actual good version of that music, which is often the kind made by artists you work with, Joe.
I mean, yes, that's kind of part of what I'm saying. Part of how helped you win some rounds. Like, it's just he's a fan of music, J. Cole. He shares it. He doesn't hoard it. He's not like super insulated, too cool for school art. Well, you know, he's famous. He works for a corporation. He has a job.
But, I mean, like that. Yeah, Like the way this shit works is like when you and I were in high school, Slava, like if someone was really into Fallout Boy, they might be like, okay, this is just a phase. I'm going to listen to like, Young Dro or whatever, but you might be like, I want to find what the real punk shit is. And then you get into like Descendants and from there Black Flag. And I
Yeah,
kind of view J. Cole as that.
sort of
But
his blessing and his curse is how banal he is. I don't think he's ever really impressed me in terms of like actual bars or just like a really just crazy great song or whatever. But yeah, he's just kind of like a little bit boring to me, and that's
yeah,
one of the worst things I could say. Like that's really
I
not
will.
a great thing
Yeah.
to say, but like, yeah.
I was talking to Emily before we engaged in this debate, and I realized that there were concrete ways that I could engineer a victory for myself
Like getting him to interrupt you.
Exactly, yes, from my position of weakness of having to defend J. Cole. And
Damn,
that
dude,
was
you really do work for the deep state. That's a, like real
And-
puppetry.
and I was like, okay, if I make a rule that says interruptions are minus 1 point, and then I just start calling Slava a criminal, I will absolutely win. But
That
man.
let's
combined
see
with
if
my
this
distaste for
bears
J.
out.
Cole. Yeah.
I have
Well, it's a
I have
draw.
a thing. Yo, the funny thing is his that fucking little apology that he did. It's gonna age better than it's being received now because it's just gonna kind of go away, and then people are gonna kind of look at it as like that was kind of cool, whatever. I'm telling you, like people's
It's not over.
overreaction to
It's
how
not
corny
over.
it. Well,
If Kendrick comes out with something, or this goes on, or Drake gets involved, it's not over. It's going to be a very interesting side note. It's like, remember when Pusha T was getting at Drake, and and Drake took a break. He's like, let's distract from the circus, or like take a break from the circus to talk about the blackface photo. He like had to address that part, and like that's a note in that beef in the same way that this will be.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Kendrick's going to win 100%.
Let's quickly go through the final rounds.
The final rounds he lost points for interrupting you. That's what I said. He lost.
Yeah,
he
I
went
read
into the
every
negative
rapper.
point. You're -1.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So like,
never been done. They said it could never be done.
You won both of those rounds, Drew. Just based on, being more prepared. I think, or yeah, I guess being sneaky in terms of knowing to get him to interrupt you and stuff like that. And the internal biases of the moderator, the unbiased moderator, I think did not help you. Yeah.
Slava, I'm sorry for engineering a situation in which I would absolutely destroy you in this debate. However,
I'm a music optimist, so it's a draw, but ultimately Drew won.
This won't be the last time we talk about this beef. Don't worry.
Thank God.
You mean the beef between you and I? No, that's ongoing.
No, the beef between me and North Carolina.
Okay. Slava, I would also like to apologize for anything I said to
no, you don't
denigrate you. That. You are not.
Just own it. Own it.
All right, Slava, you're
like
one of my best friends in the world, but also you're a convict, and if it is advantageous to me, I will fucking rub that bullshit in your face.
Man, I really should have just given you a cut, eh?
Hey, it's really...
All right, this has been Nersey. It's been Drew. Slava couldn't make it. We have been produced and also moderated by Joe. Or sorry, Slava couldn't make it because I killed him in this battle of wits. But also Trey couldn't make it. We have been produced and moderated by Joe. And it's go time. Peace out.